What's going on, everybody, and welcome into another episode and another week of the What the Puck podcast. I'm Nick. He's Gunk. Gunk, how you doing this week?
We're doing pretty good. Just halfway through the season. We're starting the All-Star break this weekend coming up. It should be a fun little weekend, but a little cloudy over it. But hopefully they get through it. Think of the positives, not the negatives. So
Yeah.
hopefully we'll have a little fun this weekend. And again, it's a nice little break for fans and stuff right now to settle in, see what their team, how their team is, and you know, see if they're contenders, see if they're just middle or they're just tanking for a draft pick right about now.
Well, we can let's talk real quick about the All Star game because you got a little bit of your wish.
Yeah,
Brat is playing in the All Star game now because Jack is hurt. So unfortunately, the circumstances can't see them both play. But good for him to be able to make it in. I think it's deserved.
yeah, and Jack will be there, right there. My man Jack will be there, still being the co-captain of the Hughes team with brother Quinn, but like I said, he won't participate in any on ice activities. I'm sure they'll get nice little interviews, media sessions, which, as you tell in the past, Jack is really good at those. Sarcastically, of course. But it should be fun this weekend. Like I said, I'm glad Brett deserved to get in. I mean, especially has Jack hasn't played in like a week, 2 weeks now and stuff. A lot of Devils fans were when they were talking about, oh, he might be able to get on the ice for the All Star game. Were really bitching about, hey, if he can get on the ice for an All Star game, why isn't he playing when this team was struggling in Tampa Bay on Saturday? You know what I mean? Like, they really just fell apart on Saturday. The team. I mean, Nico said it. He was embarrassed, and I was too watching the game. I was embarrassed about it. So if he's gonna play in an All Star game instead of helping this team when they're really struggling right now, I mean, that just goes to say. So I'm glad he made the right choice. I'm glad the NHL put Brad in because again he was one of the top points getters this year so far and not in the All Star game. So he totally deserved it. Good for him. He is one of my favorites right now. He's one of my favorite players, and he's well deserved. Well deserved.
Absolutely.
As in all the All Stars are well deserved, but him particularly, I was very happy to see him actually get into this All Star game, and hopefully he shows up on Saturday, and maybe he'll get out to the national audience and make himself a name.
We'll see. I mean,
Yep.
his name's out there now, so hopefully we can
Hmm.
see it. But last week we left off with the Devils talk with their game coming up against Carolina. That game is
Ooh,
come and gone, and they lost 3-2. What were your thoughts on that one, there, Gong?
another brutal. They have been brutal since we last talked. I mean, again, they're just it's you can't even blame the injuries anymore. It's just it's something in this team. I don't know what it was last year that would. It just seemed like just such a magical ride. It looked like it was like this is all right. We're getting back. Like I said, years and years and years of just struggling, getting winning the lotteries, getting first round picks, or getting first overall picks, picking the right players at the time. And it seemed like last year this team was coming together, and right now it's not happening. There's something. There's got to be a change somewhere. It's got to be coaching, which you really don't want to do with this in the middle of the season. I mean, everyone says it, but if so far into the season, you got to ride with them. I mean, at least until
Is it a
unless you
coaching
get
issue? I feel like this is more of a team issue now. Like I feel like
I,
the coach can only do so much.
exactly. And like I said, it's just and they come out in their first periods. They play. It's usually either tied up or they're down. They're always down one. So that goes without saying. They're always if anybody wants a sports bet, here's your win for the week. Any game the Devils play, pick the other team to score the first goal. Whatever their money line is on that, you'll hit on it
Mm.
definitely. But like I said, they play great first period, and then it seems like, especially the last two games, the Carolina game and the Tampa game, their second period was awful, 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 awful. Just didn't show up to play. And don't get me wrong, they come back in the third periods, but it's always too little, too late. And like I was saying, Nico in the locker room was embarrassed about the game, and everyone should be because it was embarrassing to watch. And it's getting to that point now where I kept trying to be positive for the last like month or so. Like, no, they're good. It's injuries. They'll pull themselves out. They'll pull themselves out of this. The goaltending will either they'll get they'll switch up the goaltending, or maybe they'll get a little better. Which on Saturday, Vanacek had a great game. He had a really good game. If you watch that game, he was making some. If he played the way he played the whole part of the rest of the season, it would have been like 8-1. He was making tremendous saves, and again, like I said, just no heart in the second. Lose that game, goodbye. And it's like I said, it's mid. It's not in the playoffs. It's a team thing right now. Either, like I said, the guy get the players back, and somebody's got to start kicking some ass in that. One of the players, a Hala, a Palat, who have been there before, they need to step up. They're the ones that were paid for the leadership that they brought, especially Palat. He was the one, coming off, Stanley Cups in Tampa Bay that was supposed to bring that aura of, leadership, and that's what he was getting paid for. He wasn't getting paid for his scoring. He wasn't getting paid for, that kind of stuff. He was getting paid to help lead his team, and they're just lost right now. And again, I have no words. I mean, it's an embarrassment to watch sometimes, and like I said, it is what it is right now. Unfortunately, I know it's one of those shitty, sports cliches, but they're gonna have to roll what they got, and over the next month or so, see what happens. They got a lot of games coming up after the All-Star break. I said they got Colorado, and they got a lot of home games coming up too. They got Colorado, they got Calgary right after that. So they're gonna have to start winning these games, and they've been horrendous at home. So
yeah,
that's the other thing. They've been horrendous at home. They've played, pretty good on the road, but at home they have laid an egg. So
yeah,
this next month is gonna be really big for them. It's either gonna be not tank it like a San Jose or one of those teams, but like either sell off maybe like a Palat or somebody just to get that.
No one's taking $6 million for that. That is too much of an anchor at this point to try to do anything with that.
Exactly.
The Devils signed themselves into a hole with a lot of their contracts. Yes. And it just does not seem, unless you're retaining salary, which the Devils I don't think would want to do. No. You'd have to retain at least half of that to make it even worthwhile. That's the only way I'd be taking Palat at his age with the contract that he has, because contract doesn't end until 2026, 2027. That's way too long for
a lot too many years on it too.
Yeah, for something that for 32, you really don't know what you're getting at this point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I agree with you.
That's a bad situation.
It's a bad situation, and it's gonna hold us down for at least a couple years, especially salary cap wise and stuff like that. Not like team wise, but salary cap wise. And like I said, even Hamilton too, that we have on. Luckily we finally got him on long-term IR, so we have his salary to work with as the trading deadline comes up. So I said it's gonna be either we're gonna go all in. The big rumor was the Adam Henrique's looking to get Adam Henrique back, which would be a really good addition to this team right now. I feel his leadership, he was around the Devils organization when they were winning, so he knows what it takes to win in New Jersey, and especially with the whole situation with the Team Canada thing now, and our two players gone. It's like we need a good bottom two, bottom second line, bottom six center and stuff. So Henrique would fall right perfectly into that spot. I mean, hopefully, I know the Ducks are probably going to be asking, for, but how much, unless you're throwing Gibson in and then turns into like a blockbuster deal, see what you can get just for Henrique. Just, call them up, see what, we can offer to get him, because he would be a perfect scenario right now for a team that needs somebody like that right now.
I totally agree. Like I mentioned last week, that trade that I mentioned with Henrique and Gibson seemed relatively fair for what the Devils were looking for and for what Anaheim was looking for. Yeah, it sucks to lose Holtz, but like he's not he's not getting treated right by Lindy by
No.
anybody. So like
Yeah,
honestly, I don't really see any issue with him going. And
no.
you get rid of Vitek, who you want gone anyway. So
Exactly.
I think it's fine for both teams. So honestly, it doesn't really seem too bad.
No, again, it's gonna be a matter of other teams, especially with Gibson, other teams gonna be jumping in because goaltending is you know so needed now. So you're gonna have a lot of teams jumping on him. So like I said, even if you can just grab Henry by himself, for a third, fourth, pick or a lower end prospect or something. I mean, I would pull a trigger right now for him right now. Like he solves a lot of problems. I feel.
He yeah, that and I feel like that's what you need right now. I don't feel like you need to break the ground with anything, but you really just need to figure out where to patch the good team that you have right now.
Right.
And if that's the patch, honestly, I think Devils fans should be receptive of it because, like, Rico's shown that he could still be a fantastic player in the NHL. I mean, granted,
Absolutely.
he's with the Ducks, but, like,
Right.
it doesn't, regardless, a good player is going to be a good player no matter what team is around him. So, like, honestly, the return on that is probably better than anything you could get, even if it's considered a rental at this point. I don't think it really matters. I think that's
No.
perfect for this team.
And again, I mean, you make the trade for him and see what happens. And if you want, give him another year or two. On his see what his contract is. Even if he's a rental for this year, see what his contract is. Bring him back if you have to. Again, especially with like I was saying with the the investigation going on. He's not coming back. The person that will not be named because I Woof. Anyway, yeah, that name will not be mentioned in my house no more. Anyway, so that, like I said, that gentleman, it won't be back for a long time, or if back at all. So again, trade again. I say make the trade, see how it works out. He knows this area. He knows the team. He knows the organization. He'll fit right in like a glove. And for me as Devils fan, it's no brainer.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think it's something that the Devils should do. It just makes a
Yep.
lot of sense right now.
Yes.
But to finish up with the Devils talk real quick, let's just look back at the month of January real quick for them. 12 games played, 5-6-1. Pretty brutal month. Well, hopefully February is a little bit better for the team because it has not looked good.
No, it really hasn't. It's really depressing being a Devils fan right now, just because of the expect the ex. I think it was more the expectations coming in after last year. I think that's what really has soured a lot of Devils fans this season. Is you had such a record breaking season last year with the amount of wins, the amount of points you got. Jack scoring 99 to break Eliash's record. The playoff series against the Rangers, the excitement. There's the excitement around the team, and then you come in and you make moves. You bring in Toffoli. You make different here and there moves, and then you go perfect in the preseason. We were talking about it like on our first one or two podcasts. We were like, oh my! I was like, yo, they went undefeated in the preseason. This is awesome. They look like they're a house of fire. And then the regular season came, and it just wasn't there. And like I said, it's the expectations that really are making this season way worse than it is. Because again, they are still in the mix. I mean, they're only 4 points out. They have a lot of games coming up. They have a couple games on hand on some of the other teams in front of them. If you can get it together and make the playoffs, it's not like it's out of the
Oh,
realm, but
absolutely. You're not that far off.
yeah. And it's just it goes back to confidence. It goes back to, like I said, it's a mind thing right now. It's not even a game thing. It's a mind thing, and you could tell, like, you could see it as the ex on certain guys. It's their expressions as they're playing. It's like ball, like on Saturday, where he literally, they got the game back to one. They played around, and he throws it right in front to nobody, and Tampa just takes advantage of it, scores, and you're back down two again. And those are the plays that like I understand you're young, but that's not a play you're supposed to make. And I don't care who was making it. I don't care if it was Ball. I don't care. I would shit on Luke if he did it. I would shit on Nemitz if he did it. That's just not a play you're supposed to do down one in a game where you just got the game within one and you had a little energy going, and then goodbye, all gone.
Yeah.
So that's what it seems like. It just seems like it's my take on this half of the year is it's a big giant red balloon that's starting to deflate, and it's just going down and down and down, and it's just you're right here right now, and within a month you could be either squished or you could be you could be blown up again. It's like a half inflated balloon right now, and I know it's a weird like take on it, but that's how I feel right now. Because you had all these big expectations with like a big balloon like that was ready to fly, and then like the pressure's just getting to you. It's just squeezing the life out of you, and that's how I feel. Again, I know it's probably a stupid fucking analogy, but that's what I see when I see this team for this season.
No, my balloon! My balloon's inflating! No, my balloon!
And it's doing and every game, it seems that second period just hear the air coming out of the fucking balloon.
Well, I guess
yes,
I could kind of say the same for the Rangers, because some air has been let out of our balloon. Because this team.
Don't you take my analogy, fucker.
I don't want to hear it. All right, fine. Well,
that's my analogy. God damn it.
Oh.
No, that's gonna be the name of the thing.
It's gonna be the episode.
I finally made one up.
Well, this Rangers team went from squeaky clean to fucking streaky real fast.
Oh boy.
It's another team with another brutal month of January. Only winning 5 games. They went 5-7-2 in the month of January. The 5 games that they won weren't even really that good of games. Like, you beat Chicago 4-1 early in the month. You beat Ottawa the other day 7-2. I'll get into that game because that was a really good game.
Okay.
But and then you beat the Ducks. You beat the Kraken, who weren't doing super hot. Well, they were doing okay at the time.
Right.
And then you beat the Capitals on the second half of a back-to-back. Yep. Not really much impressing and like result in terms of games. Like the highest scoring game was in Ottawa, 7-2. And that was only really the best game I think I watched the Rangers play this month, even though the first period was just as bad as most. They went down 2-0. You go down early 2 down. You go. This team. I can't even talk. I'm trying to do a podcast and I can't even talk over here, boys.
Inflated.
Oh, whew.
Deflated.
Yeah, it was a really good explosive win after going down 2-0. This kid that they brought up from the AHL, his name is Connor Mackey. He fought Kachuk and dropped him. Absolutely dropped him. It was a good fight too, and it just seemed to fire up this team in a certain kind of way. And they just decided to roll from there. They combined for a 5-goal second period in the game. Honestly, it felt like I was watching the old Rangers that I was watching at the beginning of. I say old like it was that long ago. It was literally a month and a half ago that the Rangers were doing like pretty good.
Yeah.
And it looked like they were what they used to be. It seemed like they were rolling. It seemed like they knew what they were doing. It seemed like they knew how they wanted to do what they had to do. They executed everything perfectly. I mean, I didn't watch the game because I was watching the Rumble.
Oh.
But
so was I. It was right after the Devils game,
but yeah, it was a fantastic game. It was nice to see them score as much as they did. Last time I saw this team, I think, score 5 in a period was against Philly. When they won 9-2, they scored 5 in the second. But no, yeah, they needed this win against Ottawa, especially after losing to Vegas, because the game against Vegas was an absolute stinker.
Oh,
They needed a win desperately in that game on home ice, couldn't get it.
no.
You lose more than just the game. You lose Truba for 2 games to suspension for an elbow to the head,
Right.
which
Well,
I didn't really see it, but if it got called, it got called. I'd rather see it
I
get called.
I mean, I saw uh
I saw a little bit, but
I saw a
like,
picture. I saw the picture of it, and
yeah,
I mean, it didn't look as bad as like maybe with the video, maybe it was the way the speed of it was maybe, but he did get him really good. I mean, 2 game suspension. Well, you know what it is though. Truba is one of those guys that they're looking out for when he does something. They're looking out for it.
absolutely.
So he's marked by the NHL. If he anything that's even in the gray area, they're gonna go against him for.
Which honestly is fine. I'd rather see it get called than have people complain about it. Because, like, if you hit him in the head, you hit him in the head, it should deserve to get called on. So, like,
Yeah.
whatever.
Oh no, absolutely.
And another loss in that game. Ryan Lindgren goes down with injury again. Uh, just kind of took a weird, awkward, like, hit into the boards. And I couldn't even call it awkward. It was really like a nothing burger of a hit. Like, he just kind of, like, got pushed into the boards and it looked like he hurt his arm and then just left the game.
Oh wow.
So I guess glass bones and paper skin strikes again and just decided that he couldn't take it anymore. Because you're a professional hockey player. I can't. Oh, I
Yeah.
can't date. My arm hurts. My
In my
arm.
arm.
Oh, my arm hurts. Oh no, my
Oh no.
arm. Get out of here. I hate that. Play. You like miss a shift. If you missed like a shift or two because he was like throwing ice on his arm, even do that on the bench. Like,
Yeah.
don't go to the locker room. I hate that he no like a strong gust of wind will break his leg. Like I don't understand. I don't understand what's wrong with him.
This dude's call him Glass Joe from Punch Out. Glass Joe.
I I
Glass Joe.
I think of him as the glass bones and paper skin guy from SpongeBob. Every morning I
Oh
break my arms and every
yeah.
night I break my legs.
He's got great meat. He wants chocolate. I want chocolate bars.
Yeah, he wants.
I need chocolate bars.
Oh my god! But yeah, no, it went down again. Hopefully, we see him back soon. It's not the first player we've
No.
lost to injury. It's not the
Hey,
last, but
exactly.
the most
Although
significant.
I have a
No, go
good
ahead.
take on this game.
Mm,
The Vegas Rangers game.
sure.
So, so going to a little story about I switched. I not that I switched jobs, but I've moved to a different location on my job. Which, if anybody knows, that I park cars for a living, basically. So now I'm in another location. So I work Friday night, and it's a hotel. It's a little small hotel in Jersey City that I work at, and so I get to work about 11 at night. I'm an overnight worker. So I get there, I check in with my guy. I come out and I see about 8 Rangers. I see the Rangers gear, sweatshirts for the girls, everything. So I'm like, oh, it's like I was wearing my Devils sweatshirt.
Boo! Boo!
Oh,
You
dude,
guys
yeah,
stink! Boo! You guys suck! Go home! Boo! Get
no,
out of here! This is my ground! Boo!
so literally, I talking and I see the guys. I'm like, yo,
Boo!
that because we're from Jersey. That's what we do. Oh, they start laughing and stuff, and I go inside, do my set up my job, do all my things. I go back out and they're standing there. I guess they're waiting for an Uber. So I'm like, I want to go talk to them.
Oh!
I want to get the pulse of other Rangers fans because I get you guys' pulse, from the Rangers perspective. So I was like, you know what? I want to get a different perspective. So I go up and nicest guys, nicest girls ever. I mean, and we were talking. We talked for about 15 minutes about last year's series, and they actually said they actually went to the Vegas game, so they were talking, the experience, and how the Rangers fans were really getting frustrated with this team right now. I'm talking about in the stands, and they were, just seeing this season again like almost come apart. They were upset about it. It was just a nice 15-minute conversation, and I just feel like you could do like that's why hockey is awesome because I can walk up as a Devils fan to a group of like 10 Rangers fans and just talk and have fun and shit on each other about our teams, but in a good way. Like I feel like other sports like say like us, we went to the Phillies Mets game like that. Like there's no way we could really do that with well, I'm a Phillies fan anyway, but like a bunch of like crazy like fucking Mets fans and shit. Or football is the biggest one. It's like you could never go up to like I could never go up to a Jets fan and be like, hey, I'm a Patriots fan.
Oh my God,
they would like
you'd get killed.
Yeah, they would. So I feel like hockey is one of those sports that even though you have the opposite teams and you have a group of people together, you all get along and you all have it's a fun time, and that's why I feel like I enjoy the sport more now than any other sport out there, because it seems like even though it's like user rivals, but it's a camaraderie of like the game. So
Absolutely, I totally.
Just a little cute story because I thought of it when we were talking about the Vegas game, that I had this good interaction with Rangers fans.
No, that's amazing. I love talking to random people about hockey and sports and stuff like that. That's what, honestly, if we're talking about jobs and stuff, that's what makes part of my job so much fun. I just pump gas, but still, just coming across random people, having nice little interactions like that, it's always nice. It makes my day being able to like get other people's perspectives on stuff, because it even helps with stuff like this. I'll talk to somebody, get a different idea about something, and be like, oh, I can use that for the pod. Come on here, spew their not their bullshit, but spew their shit a little bit, and really get to see different perspectives around hockey. It's fun to be able to see what other people are thinking, especially because you can get so many different points of view in a different day. So
yeah, absolutely.
It's good to see that. It's good to see that they didn't shoo you away because of the Devils.
Shoot away. Embraced me in, and like I said, it was 15 to 20 minutes of conversation, just BSing back and forth. It was fantastic, and again, I don't know. Again, I told them about our podcast, so maybe one or two of them will actually like maybe get a view or two, and like hey, pass it along.
Absolutely, we'd love
like
that.
I mentioned it. Hey, it's a Devils and Rangers fan just BSing about the sport, and they were like, "Oh, that sounds great," and stuff. Like, what's the thing? And I showed them. I went on of course, on our youtube.com/whatthepuckpod, and I showed them our page, and they saved it on their phone. So hey, you never know what's gonna happen, my man. So they said that's why I'm excited for actually to go to Stadium Series this year. Said we get there early, kind of walk around, get the pulse of the parking lot and the concourse and all that.
Yeah,
stuff.
absolutely.
It's gonna be a fun time.
We as all hockey fans got a pulse on what the Stadium Series is gonna be like with the jerseys getting revealed the other day, and half of them are great. Half of them are dog water, hot garbage.
Yes, the third one, I would just call it basic.
It's fine. It's fine.
I would say the third one is basic. Fourth one is fucking terrible.
Fucking awful. It's horrendous.
Literally, they must have waited till the last minute and then just like, you know what? Let's just throw this on the.
You know what? Away jersey. Give them the away jersey.
Go far away. That's what I say. Take that shit far away.
Absolutely. I ranked them in order of like best to worst: Rangers, Devils, Islanders, Flyers.
Oh, you put the Flyers last?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. Okay. My list is Devils really close, Rangers. Devils, of course, just because
the Devils numbers look like electrical tape.
No, stop it.
they look like my old street hockey jerseys.
The only thing is that I wish the Rangers one would have been above the Devils one if it was in blue. If they had it in blue
Uh,
and they put the Islanders in the white, I think that jersey pops a lot. And I think that would be really dope.
I don't know.
But
I like the white. It just looks so. It looks so nice. I feel
I
like
guess
I feel like a jersey like that would also like look good in a cream color, but I feel like
Mhm.
most people wouldn't like that.
No, again, people, especially like those off colors, like a cream or like an eggshell. Like if they're gonna get a white jersey, they want the classic white jersey, that's exactly what the Rangers have. And again, the lettering is beautiful. The
Oh, it's
LYR,
perfect.
the NYR is beautiful on it. Again, you got to give Rangers. I hate the
They've had
fucking
some
team.
fantastic jerseys, except
They
for
have some of the nicest fucking jerseys ever.
yeah.
Their classic. First of all, their classic jerseys is like I said, just classic. They're just the Rangers down the front is perfect. I used to love the New York one, the one that would have New York down it.
Oh, the dark navy blue one.
Yeah,
Oh,
that one I
baby, I
love.
love
Yeah,
that
I like
jersey.
that one. Oh, you did?
Ooh, I love that jersey so
Yes,
much.
that was a classic.
They should have
And of
done
course
something like that. I feel like they could have done something like that.
they could
Or if
now,
they do a
but
reverse
maybe.
retro, do that again.
But I was gonna say maybe they wanted it to change it up a little bit. Just to give it a new thing. And the NYR is really big on it, so it really flashes like on the ice.
That's what
So
they wanted to do. They wanted it to
right,
look big.
right, and that's why, like I said, I would rank. I go Devils 1. I will be trying to buy it at some point this year. Rangers a high 2. Now now this is where the difference between you said 3-4. Philly is basically is just a base. It seems like they're just their basic jersey base. They
Yeah.
changed some of the striping. They changed them a little bit, but
Playing
it
the
looks like they were
Cooperalls.
at this.
Playing the Cooperalls with
Yeah.
that jersey, and it's perfect.
Oh, see, no, I think it's just plain as fuck.
Eh.
Now the Islanders one. That's fucking terrible. I'm sorry.
What's the the complaint that I've seen on it, and I respect it, is that it looks too much like an Edmonton jersey. They're saying that the blue looks too dark, and honestly, I agree. If it was the brighter blue, I feel like it would look a lot better because it looks like a Rangers navy blue too.
Yeah, again, that's the first. That's actually now you say that. Now I didn't even think. I didn't even put that in my head. The Edmonton thing. It does look like an Edmonton jersey.
Yeah, because the colors match pretty closely. I
Yeah.
mean, like they could have just stuck with their normal blue or done even something else.
Right. No, I didn't even put that together until you just said that. Now it's like now I'm focused in my head. That's really similar. But Isles, that's all you brought. I mean, you couldn't think of you have so many good. I mean, the NY with the hockey stick. I think it was a tribute to like the net. I think it was like a Nets and Islanders
black
collab.
one.
Go the black. Oh, you didn't like that? See,
No.
I like that. I like that. I'm also a black jersey guy. Like I like black jerseys, and because I wear black most of the time anyway. So black jerseys for me are super cool. So I did like that one. But again, I know I'm probably in the minority, but I was also a fan of the classic fisherman. I love the fisherman logo. Maybe even if they took like just the fisherman head and put it on there, or they
Something.
use that,
They
or
yeah.
maybe if they use that font, like the wave font on the front, where it's just like if you're gonna put Isles, just put Islanders like that with that font in those colors would be really cool. I think.
I
I feel like they just went for like a basic. I think they tried to go too much back in the day. It almost looks like one of the like when you watch like black and white games, like you know what I mean? You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like where the
Yeah.
word is just like across. Yeah, that's what it feels like to me. It feels like they went too retro. Like it. I don't know. That was just my take on it, but I don't like. Yeah, the Islanders ones I don't like.
I made a comparison to a jersey that I think they could have gone with as a design like style. I want to say it was Nashville's Winter Classic jersey with the cursive Nashville Predators in the middle.
I'm just give me let me just look it up because again I'm not.
Yeah, it was the Winter Classic jersey.
Oh, okay.
Something like that. I feel like you
Yeah.
could. I feel like you could make work better. Cause like that's a
Yeah.
gorgeous jersey.
See again. Uh, I don't know. Yeah, I guess no. Actually, you know, I'm looking at it. It does. And again, I'm looking at it now, like people like them on the ice with it too.
Cause like even if you made
That
it
is a
look,
nice.
even if you made it look like a road sign, like a green and fucking white thing,
Mm-hmm.
like a New York highway sign, I feel like that's just better than what you got.
No, absolutely. Yeah, no. But yeah, these Predators ones are kind of dope. I kind of like that.
They are they're
Ooh,
they're super
they
nice
had a
jerseys.
dude. They had a Smashville jersey like that.
Oh God, yeah. I think
You
that
don't
was
like
a
that?
no,
Oh my god, that looks so cool. I'm sorry. I like
no, God, I do not.
that. Smashville, that's dope. I'm sorry. Again. I can agree to disagree on that one. But no, I like that Predators one. That's kind of cool.
Yeah,
I like that design, but again, yeah, they probably could if they went with something like that, like Islanders, that would have been perfect.
yeah.
Or even if they went with the Isles and just did it in the cursive fonts,
That's better. It's better.
I think it jumps the level. It goes past the Flyers definitely.
Absolutely.
I would definitely say if it was in cursive like that. And you know what is funny that I saw a lot of like before they like for the last month or so I saw like people like creating their own and stuff. And I did see somebody that had I think it was like the logo and this on the bottom like that cursive writing on the bottom,
Okay.
which again, I think it would have been cool. But yeah, if the Islanders one had a cursive font on it, it would jump it up big time.
It's just almost there to be really good, but it just falls
Yes,
so flat.
and that's what it is. It's because again, you don't get these games every year for your for your team. You're not playing these games every year, so you're not having that special occasion where you're going to be on national TV with with the coverage you're going to get on it. So
Yeah,
again, I feel like they kind of threw that together. I mean, again, didn't really. I mean, you can't say that because I'm sure people put thought in it, but again, I don't agree with that. Again, it's up to them. They're gonna be using it, not me. So
yeah,
hey, and and again, how fans are. They're gonna buy them anyway. So regardless of, they could throw a little poop emoji on the front of them, and people will buy the jerseys regardless.
yeah. It's gonna be something to see on the ice when they play the games in a couple weeks. But
Yeah.
real quick, one thing that I wanted to touch on because just to finish up with everything going with the Rangers because there hasn't been much going on with hockey this week, so it's been a little bit of a slow week. So it'll probably be a little bit of a shorter ep today and this week. But I just want to send a little hopes and prayers as we call them, like for hope and prayer.
Like
Uh,
hope and prayer. Thoughts and
to
prayers. Thoughts and
hope,
prayers.
thoughts and prayers, hopes and
Thoughts
prayers
and thoughts and prayers. Thoughts and prayers.
for Filipino, man.
Oh,
Homeboy don't
absolutely.
deserve what he's going through. Was
No, he
so close
doesn't.
to being able to come back. Was skating with the team. Was back in New York. Made his way back to New York from being home in Czechia. Falls in practice at the end of
Oh,
practice. Was down on the ice for like 5 7 minutes. Nobody really had an idea of what was going on, and then it was announced that it was issues with the concussion he was dealing with, and will be out for the rest of the season.
now, like I said, you're a little more. Again, I only read the story. Did he? Was it like any contact, or did he just like just
No,
trip on the ice and
it
just
was a
like or
it was an optional skate, so there wasn't probably a lot of players there. He was getting ready to leave off the ice. I guess he slipped and fell or something. I'm not really too
oh,
sure.
okay.
And yeah, it messed him up enough to where he was down for a little bit, had to be helped off the ice,
Oh,
and here we are.
that's terrible.
Oh, there's a
I
cat.
hate to hear stuff like that. Because again, like I said, even though he's on the Rangers and that's the team that's my rival, you don't want to see players, especially somebody talented as he is. You don't want to see this happen to him. It's like it's such wasted talent for the poor guy, and he's still young, and he's a really good player for the Rangers and for the organization. I mean, just a couple of interviews I saw, seems like just a really really good guy and doesn't deserve what he's
No.
going through right now. And I said as a Devils fan, and hopefully Devils team other fans say speedy recovery, please. I mean, hopefully we can see him back on the ice next year. Hopefully everything works out mentally, physically for him, head wise and stuff. So you
Absolutely.
know
I
I just
I'm glad they're taking the resources that they need to make sure he can just go back home and focus on himself and everything and really get back to being to where he needs to be to try to hopefully get him to 100% because that's too much skill to lose to concussions, man. That's
no
it's
exactly.
absolutely awful to see such a young player get hit so many times like that to where he has to be out and
Yeah.
hopefully he can be back next season. If not, it's it was a hell of a career for him, but
Yeah.
right now we won't know until later on. So hopefully
And the one thing
everything's good there.
Yeah, and the one thing that's good with with sports nowadays is the concussions and all the head injury and stuff. They really take that stuff seriously. And I mean, like I said, if this was the '80s and '90s, nobody would even a second thought to it, and he would just be playing with this massive problem with concussions and what's his life like his lifestyle going to be in when he's 40 or 45 and stuff, walking around, those head traumas are really bad. And they said you hear football players and old hockey players and old baseball, even baseball players, with the CTE, or
Mm.
wrestlers, as we were talking about you watching the Rumble. I mean, how many wrestlers have
Uh,
either you know I don't even know how the TikTok thing is, himself, that way.
yeah,
SM, whatever the fucking term is. So,
all of it.
but
Yeah,
anyway, yeah, they committed stuff, and it. You don't want to see it, and of course, the biggest one is the Benoit one. With unfortunately that you don't want to see stuff like that. I mean, Junior Seau, though you don't want to hear those stories, and hopefully now that you know they really take the CTE and the concussion stuff seriously. It's again, I hate to be on a sad note at the end of the podcast,
no,
but
it's
it's really good. It's really good that they're taking care of
yeah,
these guys right now, and they can have long, fulfilling lives after the sport. And unfortunately, like I said, with Cheeto, if he's not able to continue his career, at least maybe he'll find some way back into hockey. Coaching, something like that. Where he could still be part of the game and save himself from trauma in his 40s, 50s, in his 60s and stuff.
absolutely. Well, gang, we hope you all take care of yourselves. Hope you can all
Yes.
get back to getting through your trauma, I guess, after
I'm
this
sorry, I didn't mean
episode.
to bring that. It's
Getting back to life
Yeah,
after the
that's it.
pod.
It's one of those things that just it makes me it really touches me. Just the head trauma stuff. Really I'm so glad they're taking care of stuff like that now. It's really cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Well,
Yeah.
gang, we got to peel out of here. Unfortunately, it's been a slow hockey week with the All Star game coming
Yeah.
up. We hope you all enjoy the All Star game, and we'll see you back here next week for another episode. Peace.
Blow up the balloon.
Blow up the balloon.
Peace.